Hey there folks, this is Lucifer Lakeboard coming back at you with another video. Now, I wanted to talk about this because I've been in discussion most of the day while I was working with a TST member of all people who brought up a very interesting topic. Now, this person is called Avery Satanist. Obviously, they were razzing on one of my older videos where I criticized them for their stupid abortion ritual when it first came out, and so they were calling me an incel and all this other stuff. That's besides the point. They said something very interesting that caught my attention, and it brought me to a point where I had to say, whoa, wait a second. This is this person's entire issue. And it comes to the whole point of what Anton LaVey said about Satanists being born, not made. Okay? First off, I'm sorry if you're hearing a weird sound coming out of the speaker right now. I actually have a heater right next to me because the black parlor is very cold because, well, there's no insulation underneath the floor. 130-year-old house, and yeah. So, and I'm running around in shorts and everything. So I got a heater blowing right on me to help kind of keep me a little warm here. So, one of the things that this individual said was that they had actually read Anton LaVey's Satanic Bible. This book right here. Now, you've seen me talk about this book numerous times, as well as Anton LaVey on the channel, and I've always made a very firm point of pointing out that this is, out of all the books in Satanism, and the whole subject of Satanism, this is the critical book. Now, this person that's flat out said that their first introduction to Satanism was through this book. But they could not see themselves in it. They could not, as they said, wrap their heads around the elitism and the gatekeeping, as well as a few other things. And I'm going to flat out say the gatekeeping part I can kind of understand where that's coming from, because especially with Church of Satan, they have a very bad habit of taking their gatekeeping tactics way overboard. Okay? And if anybody, people who know me know that I actually hate saying that a person or a group or an organization is fake. I prefer, the way I look at it is that all satanic organizations deserve a chance. They all deserve, the way to go about things and to demonstrate themselves. Now, that's not the topic of this, but it is a key point for me to say because I was dealing with a TST member, and TST is one of those organizations that I flat out call fake. Okay, hands down, I do, and that point is not changed on this, and this individual did not change my viewpoints. If anything, they strengthened them. Now, Anton LaVey said that Satanists are born, not made. Why is that? Why is that? I'm going to tell you exactly why that is. The reason being is this is a mirror. Okay? It's not perfect, but it is a mirror. And what is supposed to happen when you read this book is you see yourself as you are, without any changes, without anything else. You see yourself in this book. You see yourself in this book described in full detail as you are. You don't need to change the religion to fit you. You don't need to change yourself to fit it. It fits perfectly as is. Now, if you don't fully agree, no one's expecting everybody to fully 100% agree with every single little thing in this book. No. We're all going to have our nuances, and we're all going to grow beyond the confines of the pages of this book. That's part of what Satanism is as is, and that's why we're elitists. Naturally, if we view ourselves as superior, we are going to mold our lives to fit that superior image that we hold ourselves to in our mind's eye. And that's why the elitism. But Avery could not find themselves in this book. They could not move past the elitism. They could not move past the gatekeeping. And there is a reason why we gatekeep with Satanism. There is a very valid reason. And one great example for that reason is the Satanic Temple. The Satanic Temple was formed by individuals who tried to be Satanists. They read the Satanic Bible. I know that they did. They tried to conform to what it was, which is something that they shouldn't have had to do. And they became failed Satanists. But they liked the imagery of Satanism. They liked the creepy kookiness. And they decided, hey, I'm not a Satanist. I'm an activist. But I like the satanic imagery. I'm going to use the satanic imagery for activist purposes as a shock and awe tool. And I'm going to call it Satanism, and I'm going to reshape the religion to what I think it should be. But it doesn't work that way. That's what fake Satanism is. And genuine, real Satanism, in the modern times, it hasn't always been this way, but since 1966, and since 1969 when this book came out, this has always been the doorway. Satanists aren't gatekeepers. This is the gatekeeper. If you read the Satanic Bible, and within its pages, you find yourself reflected there, then you're a Satanist. If, however, you read the Satanic Bible, and you can't find yourself there, if it doesn't jive with you, there's no shame in that. But you're not a Satanist. Now, I'm going to say this flat out. Do you have to be one type of Satanist or another? And how many Satanists are there? How many different types? There is a ton of types of Satanism. I've spoken about it here on the channel numerous times. From everything from Sithism to Thulianism to Setianism to Standard Levianism and various forms of theistic. Now this particular book is actually an amalgam of a couple of different books, and this is from the Temple or the Cathedral of the Black Goat. And I haven't had a chance to read it yet, but the Cathedral of the Black Goat has been around for a long time. Far longer than the Satanic Temple, and they are theistic Satanists. But even when you look at their documentation and their books, you see there reflected Anton LaVey's words. Because they had their entrance into Satanism the same way. Just like anybody else. They started here. They found themselves in this book. They may not have agreed with everything in it, but they found themselves here. It's really simple. How do you tell if you're a Satanist or not? Well, good case point example is this. Avery couldn't find themselves in this book. However, the Satanic Thulian Society recently started, talking to a couple of young ladies who might be joining our core grotto here. They're very lovely young ladies. And in preparation for them to be coming over here, they on their own, sat down, picked up the Satanic Bible, and they read through it. And they flat out said, without any prompting, that as they were reading through this book, they saw themselves in it. It was describing how they viewed the world and how they saw themselves and how they saw their interactions with the world. These are young ladies who'd never had any contact with Satanism whatsoever. And in their first instant, they saw themselves here. That's how you know if you're really meant to be a Satanist or not. If you can find yourself in this book, elitism and all, then you're a Satanist. Now, does that mean that you need to be an atheist or a theist? No. As a matter of fact, when you read this book, you'll get a very ambiguous feeling from it. An allusion to possible theism, as well as allusions to possible atheism. It is an amalgam of both concepts and notions, and that is what Anton LaVey was going for. Neither fully theistic nor fully atheistic. It doesn't mean he was an atheist. Certainly he wasn't, nor was he a humanist. Anton LaVey was a Satanist. Plain and simple, and that's what he clearly states in this book. There was no description that fit what Anton LaVey was. And so he had added his own description, Satanist. So, in summary, and wrapping this up, Avery, I'm sorry you couldn't find yourself in the Satanic Bible. I appreciate the fact that you like satanic imagery, and there's nothing wrong with it. That's quite flattering. Your questions as to, is every Satanist a member of the clergy? No, not all of us are meant to be clergymen. Even in the Satanic Thulian Society, we have two different levels of membership. Basic membership, which is just for the average layperson. They get to come and participate in ritual and have fun and whatnot. And then you have your active membership, which are people who are actively learning and expanding and wanting to become members of the clergy. They are training to do that. But all of them found themselves first here. We're not expected to learn it totally word by word to our hearts or anything, but we still, at any given point in time, we can pick this book up, and you can tell that mine is very well read and loved. We can pick this book up at any point in time and find ourselves in it again. And that was the purpose of this book. People call me a gatekeeper. They say I'm an incel and whatnot. Sorry, I'm in a happy relationship. I own my own home. And I have a kid. Look up the definition of incel. That's not it. And they say I'm gatekeeping. Yeah, in a way I am. For a very good reason. But I'm going to tell you guys this much. I don't like having to do it. If other people had stood up and said, hey, whoa, this is not what we're about. This is not what Satanism is. I wouldn't have had to do it. I wouldn't have felt the need that I had to do it. I would have just been like, I'll let them handle it and I'll keep on going my own way. But yeah, summary, read the Satanic Bible. It's the basic thing. This book, it's not our entire religion. It's just the core fundamental elements of it. When you want to study further into our religion, you pick up a library. You start branching into the other styles. Tell me what you guys think in the comments down below. As usual, like, share, subscribe. Visit us over on SatanicThulianSociety.com. Till next time, I'm Lucifer Lake Warden, and I'm out of here.